The Life and Death of the Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy.
In this chapter, we see Henchard's ambitious plan to celebrate a national event in the town square. Despite initial enthusiasm from the townspeople, the weather turns sour and the celebration is ultimately a failure. The hams at the top of the poles drip watered smoke in the form of a brown liquor, and the wind plays on the tent cords in Aeolian improvisations. The landscape over the river disappears, and at length, the whole erection slants to the ground. Henchard becomes increasingly reserved towards Farfrae, though they continue to work together in their corn business. He was courteous, too courteous, and Farfrae was quite surprised at the good breeding which now for the first time showed itself among the qualities of a man he had hitherto thought undisciplined if warm and sincere. The corn factor seldom or never again put his arm upon the young man's shoulder so as to nearly weigh him down with the pressure of mechanized friendship. He left off coming to Donald's lodgings and shouting into the passage. Later that evening, Henchard goes for a walk and comes across a tent that Farfrae has constructed for a musical performance. The densest point of an avenue of sycamores had been selected where boughs made a closely interlaced vault overhead. To these boughs, canvas had been hung, and a barrel roof was formed. The end towards the wind was enclosed, the other end was open. Henchard went round and saw its interior. Overall, this chapter highlights both Henchard's ambition and his tendency towards failure as well as his changing relationship with Farfrae. It also showcases Farfrae's ingenuity in constructing an impressive tent without poles or ropes for a musical performance later that evening. Henchard's plan to celebrate the national event in the town square seemed ambitious and well-intentioned. He advertised games of all sorts and set up a variety of activities for people to enjoy. However, due to unpredictable weather conditions, the celebration ultimately failed. Henchard's changing behavior towards Farfrae, becoming more reserved and less friendly, may affect their working relationship going forward. Farfrae was surprised by Henchard's good breeding and courteousness, which he had not seen before. If Henchard continues to distance himself from Farfrae, it could create tension and make it difficult for them to work together effectively. However, it is also possible that their professional relationship will remain unchanged despite the change in Henchard's behavior towards Farfrae. Based on the information provided in the chapter, Farfrae's ingenuity in constructing the tent without poles or ropes was impressive. He selected the densest point of an avenue of sycamores where boughs made a closely interlaced vault overhead and hung canvas to these boughs to form a barrel roof. The end towards the wind was enclosed, and the other end was open. This allowed for a musical performance to take place later that evening despite unpredictable weather conditions. This chapter reveals Henchard's character as ambitious and prone to failure. He had an ambitious plan to celebrate the national event in the town square, but it ultimately failed due to unpredictable weather conditions. Despite this setback, Henchard remained determined and continued to work hard towards his goals. However, his changing behavior towards Farfrae suggests that he may struggle with interpersonal relationships and may not always handle setbacks well. Overall, this chapter highlights the complex nature of Henchard's character and his tendency towards both ambition and failure.